Come and eat with me right now. Or more so, come have a drink with me right now. I have my chocolate banana smoothie. But hey everyone, it's me, D Hill. Welcome to my YouTube channel, social media world. What's up, new subscribers, and my, following subscribers. Hello, welcome. This is going to be less of a mukbang, but more so, you're going to see me sip, but more so me just expressing and getting off my chest what I need to get to, and that is, it's official that unfortunately some of the properties or locations of Soho House, Soho Hotel, Soho Warehouse, they have very extreme, they have prejudice and racist practices towards people of African American descent, black people, whatever you want to call us. I've seen it, experienced it, and today it's no lack of what I've unfortunately been. Well, it's just been proven, especially me talking to some of the staff members. Excuse the noise. I'm sitting outside of PUBLIX. That's where I got my smoothie, as well as you may be seeing me eating this donut. It's a weird maple donut. And it's delicious. I definitely recommend trying that. Best donut, definitely better than Dunkin' Donuts. But to excuse all that, let's get to the nitty gritty. So, anyone that doesn't know, Soho Hotel or Soho Grand or whatever hotel, Soho Hotel, they are a chain of hotels around the world that cater to people in the arts and entertainment industry. They are an exclusive hotel, member-only hotel. Not to give them any free publicity promotion, but to let y'all know what time it is with them. Especially people that are members, that resonate, that are of African American descent, that are not aware of their practices as far as how they treat certain members on staff and their hiring practices. Mind you, I've been to several open calls in New York and today LA. And no difference. Clearly, the managers, if they don't see it for you aesthetically, they don't give any attention to you during the interview. So, my experience today at the LA location, I go in, great vibes, great energy. Had my first round interview because they're open call interviews. They claim it's invite only, but the posting was on Craigslist. How is that really invite only? But anyway, so I went to the open call interview. Had the first round with one of the HR staff members by the name of Raphael. Great vibe, great rapport, great everything. Like, that initial interview made me feel great about, hey, I definitely want to be a part of this this business, this establishment, at least at this location. So here, another person and myself, we're waiting, going on 30 to 40 minutes. And it's like, what's going on? They were like, well, they already told us we were going to be waiting for the general manager. But it's like, if you knew you had open interviews today, why do you have this time set aside to do follow-up interviews if you really are respecting other people's time? And that's another thing that I noticed. People, be aware. When you're going to interviews, it's not just the company interviewing you. You're also interviewing them. Be very mindful of small details. For example, why didn't they already have the applications printed out and ready for us to fill out while we were sitting there? If you know you have open call interviews, those applications should have already been printed out and ready for us to fill out while we're sitting waiting. But anyway, those are little small details that I observed and I noticed. So, but, after the initial interview with the HR manager, everything was, we're sitting here waiting 30, 40 minutes. Here comes the manager, the room manager, Louise. No, thank you for waiting. I'm so sorry to hold y'all up. How are y'all doing? None of that. So he brings me off to the side, looks at my resume. Mind you, I have extensive amount of experience working as a server and working in the hotel, as my resume reflects that, which prompt them, yeah, it's not raining, I'm just sweating because I've been walking. Sorry. But which prompt them to, respond to my email when I sent in my initial resume for their posting on Craigslist. So, within a matter of 2 minutes, I'm all about energy, and I can read and sense energy. It's one of the gifts I have. He tells me, what's the top 5-star restaurant you worked at? I'm paraphrasing. And I said, one of the restaurants that was on my resume. He was like, no, how do you feel about being a back server? And I said, with no disrespect, sir, that's not what I came in for. Mind you, several people told me that they're having a hard time with, hiring people. And it's so funny because as one of the individuals that was telling me that was walking us to the, waiting area for the interviews, I said, is it because y'all are overly picky? I mean, I understand it's an exclusive type of, establishment, but when I said overly picky, it's because you don't want to hire certain people that have certain complexions. Let's be clear. Please, let's be clear. So back to what I was saying as far as the second interview. So he was like, back server. I said, sir, that's not what I came in for. And why would you want to Oh, because I only go off in your resume and I don't really see any like top 5, star experience. I said, sir, which I don't understand why a lot of companies say this. I understand it, but please be clear. Before anybody had that experience, somebody took a chance and gave them that experience to work at a 5-star restaurant. Nobody's born out the womb having 5-star experience working at a restaurant. So, sir, you see all my experience on my resume, and as I said to him, the only difference between a 5-star restaurant and other whatever's level restaurants is the clientele. You can teach somebody how to carry trays, how to work a POS system, but what you cannot teach them, that je ne sais quoi, is their hospitality, the willingness and the ability to serve, to be relatable, to be forthcoming with the guests, to treat guests with respect, and to be, a likable energy, things like that. Do you know how many restaurants I've worked at with my coworkers are scared to go talk to the guests? But you want to focus on 5 stars? Well, how about this? You got to get this 5-star read, because how the way you treated me and from what I was told by your staff members, unacceptable. He didn't ask me any type of questions as far as, scenarios or anything. He wasn't trying to get a feel for, my experience or anything. He just wanted to see me in the back. But baby, I don't settle for less. I didn't come up there to be working in the back. These are not slave days, okay? These are not slave days. So I turned around and I said to him, well, Luis, you know what? I do want to pride myself on working with a company that's very well diverse. And I also feel like any type of business, your guests should be able to come in and see different type of staff members, someone that they can identify with outwardly. Oh, when I said that must hit the jackpot, because he was like, oh, well, you know what? That's all we need to talk about right now. That's all we need to say. We're done. He didn't even really want to continue the conversation about me being a back server at that point. So clearly I struck a nerve. And if I struck a nerve, that means I spoke the truth. He got up from his seat. Oh, you know your way out? I'm like, yes, I can find my way out. He walked through the door. No graciousness, no hospitality or nothing. No holding the door, from behind, because he saw that I was walking behind him. So, I did my due diligence, went over to the bar, and rightfully, respectfully, I'm not going to say the individuals' names, and I asked my questions, and they did concur. There's not that many black people, I don't like using that word, because black is a color, it's not really an ethnicity, or it's not a nationality, but people of African American descent that works on the staff. He even said he can count on his hand how many. And he said for the ones that do work there, they're either working downstairs as, I guess, valet or door, or they're working in the back counting money or something like that. And then the other chick, I asked her, oh, so what 5-star or top restaurants have you worked at? She told me none. She got hired from her experience only working at a pizzeria. Come again? But Louise was so concerned about me working at a 5-star, but homegirl, yes, she was Caucasian. She only worked at a pizzeria. So therefore conclude to what I was feeling and what it clearly is with certain locations within Soho House Company. And then not only that, I walked downstairs, and again, I'm still asking questions. People that's outside, staff members, they knew who I was talking about before I even said the name. And then I spoke with security. You know what security told me? And mind you, the people I'm speaking with outside African American descent, told me, what security told me, He said Luis is an asshole. He treats people different. He only looks after his own. Yes, Luis may be of Latino descent, and don't get this twisted, don't get this wrong. I love all people, cultures, colors, and creed, especially when you have the goodness in your heart, you're trying to do good, and you're trying to be fair. I understand some people got it twisted in their head that because they're in a certain position or because they're a few shades lighter than somebody else, that they think they're better than somebody else. No ma'am, no sir, no dog, no canary, no frog. Okay? If you feel like your job is making you feel that special because you know that you're not up to that other level because you want to put so much emphasis on skin complexion, you want to cast it and project it on other people, i.e. me coming into trying to get hired, that's not cool, Louise, Soho Grand House, and any other job that practices that bullshit. Because me being out here in LA, I'm starting to see that's a real issue with a certain community treating other people, when they're considered minorities too, treating other people that they view lower than them differently. It's not cool. Not cool, okay? But anyway, so the security guard, he tells me, yeah, they don't even allow them to eat. But yet, when I was upstairs waiting to get interviewed, I observed several of the staff members that are of a different community eat for free. Regardless if the security is a third-party hire. And then also the security guard told me that Luis tells him that he is not allowed to use the bathroom inside. He has to go use a porta potty in the garage. What the fuck? Excuse my language, but really? So clearly, what I felt is not just me. There's something wrong with that manager, and clearly he's a representation of the company, and there's something wrong with the company. Okay? It makes no damn sense. We are in 2021. What is really going on? It's not that serious. Anything can happen. Your job, for whatever reason, can be taken just like that. Anything can happen. So folks need to treat everybody with understanding, love, kindness, and respect. Just because you hold a certain job and position, they don't give you the right to toot your nose up and thank you all that, baby. Anything can happen in life. And no, that's not me making threats or anything, because it's not that deep or serious for me to be even thinking to do something like that, because I wouldn't. But what I will, and I am doing now, is putting y'all on blast. Because what I do not appreciate is having my time wasted and being blatant disrespected. Because I understand people have their different views or their prejudice or whatever, but for you to blatantly be rude, oh no, that's a no-go for me. That's a no-go. No-go. So, for the actors, writers, producers that are members, or anybody in the art entertainment industry that are members at the Soho House Club or whatever, and you wonder why you don't see, let me step into the light and lean back, this complexion or any other complexions or a variety of shades, it's because of what I just said. So, do they really care about you, or do they only care about your money? Do they really care about you, or do they only care about the color green? So, y'all drop that in the comment box. Let me know what y'all think about it, because I know I'm not the only one that have experienced these things. And for the people that are experiencing these things, don't give up. Please don't give up. And don't let these similar experiences be projected onto your next experiences, okay? Don't block your blessings because of past experience. Because I really didn't want to go. I didn't really want to go to this interview because of past experience, as I said before, at other Soho open calls in different cities. But I'm very forward and very optimistic. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to project those experiences onto the next. And I'm going to continue to think that way. Because you never know. Because sometimes that's what the enemy wants you to be discouraged. But don't be discouraged. Just know you're not the only one going through these situations. And calm as a bitch. Don't give up. Stay lifted. And take that how you want to, but stay optimistic. And as I always say, be inspired, be motivated, and above all else, don't forget to laugh, as I truly know it is the best medicine.